Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world, and welcome to another edition of Rage Across New York for Living World of Darkness. We start our scene off today in the family estate of the Wazir family, a prominent family from the annals of Old World Egypt. This group has had, well, they've done well for themselves over the years. After some time in Portugal, Turkey, Greece, Egypt, they finally settled down in New York some time ago, some 18 years ago. To that end, a young man by the name of Xavier has grown up more or less in the city of New York, talented in many, many things, good with performing in front of his peers, a very inquisitive man, good at his studies, even dipping into areas of the occult. This young man is very well rounded when it comes to things that he studies and puts his mind to. Today is, of course, the weekend, though, and studies are not the thing on his mind. Today is a day of rest, relaxation, a day to enjoy himself. Tomorrow, Sunday, will be the day that he goes to perform errands and things of that nature that he must do that he normally can't do during the week. We start off with Xavier in his bedroom, um, just finishing up the last bit of homework that he needs to have done before he goes off to start his day.
Okay, so this essay is done too. I'm. I can finally go out. Then Xavier gets up, goes to his um whatever that was called. Let me look it up. Okay, so Xavier gets up, goes to the his dresser, and picks out a nice shirt to wear when while he's preparing to go out to downtown.
The sounds of the various going ons within the house are the sounds one might expect from the family. Several of his cousins have come over, coming to New York for the weekend to enjoy the sights and the sounds of the city in springtime. And so the sound of boisterous voices coming from the kitchen downstairs can be heard. Uh, the general laughter of such things, people conversing in their native languages. The sound of one or two live-in style maids are making their rounds from room to room, cleaning up, making the beds, taking laundry and throwing it down the laundry chute to be done soon after. And it's at this time that he hears shouting from the kitchen and then screaming and the sounds of crashing plates and an inhuman guttural sound of some massive wicked beast erupting from the kitchen and the sounds of women screaming and people diving towards various different parts of the house.
What is going on? Then Xavier grabs his sword from its stand, the one that his father gave him and taught him how to use. He slowly opens up the door of his bedroom and taking a single step out.
Xavier, as he walks out, will hear the sound of one of his cousins crying out in pain before hearing just this curdling sound like a gurgle, and then seeing the form of his cousin's body just flying across the floor, coming to a stop slowly as it slides, and you can see that his throat and much of his upper chest has been, it looks like it's been ripped apart.
Oh my
Um,
God!
and he struggles, his hands coming to his throat, being instantly covered in just a very deep ruby red and copious amounts of blood, as literally his two carotid arteries have been uh, ruptured open, and he is now literally drowning in his own blood. And he sits there and he gurgles and kicks as his last few moments of life are consumed by agony and fear.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Dad! Mom!
You hear them, well, you hear still some women screaming, but you don't hear them. You hear footsteps going in every direction downstairs. You see one of your younger cousins, a woman of 18, making her way, running past the form of her fallen brother, and as she comes around the corner and starts running up the stairs towards you, screaming your name or screaming Xavier's name, you see these odd, sickly green and orange, rust-colored tendrils sweep around the corner. They're covered in thorns, and as they grapple around her neck, around her waist rather, and her lower ankle, she falls to the ground, reaching out for Xavier.
And Xavier reaches out for her. No!
And as you grab a hold of her hand, she pleads with you, Xavier, please don't let him take me. As she tries to pull herself towards you, and I'm assuming you are trying to pull her towards you as well.
Yes.
All right. She begins to wince in pain, and she doesn't really scream. She just begins to whine as you see the tendrils snake their way up her legs to her waist, and they begin to tighten, and you can see her wearing a pair of white shorts and a black t-shirt with a sort of a throw-over type small short jacket. You can see the blood starting to pour down the sides of her waist onto the pairs of shorts, and her dark skin now being made a shade darker as you can literally hear the skin around her waist tearing.
Can I try to hack away at the tendrils with my sword?
Well, if you wish to, you can pull her with one hand and use your dice pool at half its dice to try and hack at these tendrils.
Okay, and what do I need to roll for that?
It would be your dex melee pool, and it would be half rounded down. So if you had 5, it would be 2. If you had 4, it would be 2.
Okay, so I'm going to do just that. I'm going to pull her to me and hack away at the tendrils with my other hand.
All right, roll me 4 dice.
It should be 2 dice because
Sorry,
it's
I'm sorry. Yes, 2 dice. Blah. That's two successes. Roll your strength plus. I forget what the Dacia is off the top of my head. I think it's strength plus 3, but just give me a moment and I will double check.
Okay.
Dacia. Fang Dagger, Dacia. Strength plus 3. So yes, roll your strength plus 4.
Okay. So that would be 6 dice.
Wow. 4 successes. Let's see if this thing can soak it. Well, despite your very good roll, even in Hamid form, it manages to soak all that damage. As your blade hits these tendrils, you realize that they are much more armored than you might have thought for a tentacle. The blade comes down and just kind of sparks as it bounces off and pops out of your hand from just the sheer strength that you brought it down with, and clambers down the stairs. However, leaving your other hand now open to grab a hold of your cousin's other hand.
Um, because of that bounce back from the blade, I'm thinking Xavier might have lost his balance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Roll me a Dex Athletics to see if you can, or Strength Athletics to see if you can hang on to her.
okay.
There we go. Let's see. 2 successes?
Yes.
Okay. As you fall back, you manage to hang on to her arm, and she grasps at your waist, sort of with both arms, kind of hugging, trying to pull herself towards you, but she whines even louder and begins to let out a cry as you just hear the sound of what almost sounds like wet cloth ripping. And then suddenly, she becomes much lighter as you jerk backwards and fall to the floor at the top of the stairs. Her arms still wrapped around you, her face looking up to you in just wide-eyed shock. As blood begins to drip out of her mouth, and you notice from the small of her back down is no longer there, as her legs and waist are just dragged down the stairs as a creature becomes visible walking into your view. And it very quickly draws out its tongue and begins to pick apart at the flesh of her lower body. And she looks up at you and she trembles as you can tell that she is slow or very quickly expiring. And she just whispers, "Save your," and then ceases to move altogether.
No, 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 no.
As the creature looks up at you, Xavier, a primal instinct within you begins to feel anger, but fear is also deep within your heart at the moment. And this creature begins to stalk up the stairs, slowly looking at you, panting and gurgling, its claws raking across the hardwood of the walls of the staircase as it begins to advance on you.
Um, Xavier is just going to run away with fear without even looking back.
Behind you, you can hear the distinct sound of something very large picking up its pace, almost if you could imagine a gorilla beginning to charge you. And so takes off in a quick run, and you manage to get yourself into the bathroom at the end of your hall, and slam the door shut. And no sooner have you done that than you see thick, uh, razor-like claws just partially come through the door, just as you close it.
What am I gonna do?
The bathroom itself is of a rather lavish design. Tile everywhere, wonderful uh, stonework done, marble countertops, a large mirror, a walk-in shower, and a very nice jacuzzi type style tub attached to the other side of it. And as you look into the mirror, you can see your own panicked reflection. You can see your face just completely and totally in an utter state of shock. And as you look into your own eyes, the world around you begins to change. You almost seem to fall through this mirror. You feel yourself sort of as if you were leaning against a pane of glass that suddenly broke away from you and left you in a free fall. And when you fall into this other realm, this otherworldly realm, you suddenly have the stark realization that you're not in your house anymore, at least not the way you remember it. Sure, there are walls and features there, but it all seems to be a bit ethereal. The shadows play over everything. There's almost a blue hue, like a perpetual state of night within the room, though illuminated by moonlight somehow.
What?
You do notice that currently there's nothing pursuing you. You're simply just in a oddly colored room at the moment.
And what can I see around me?
You just see the bathroom, although when you look into the mirror, it's almost like looking through a window. Slightly, you can see the reflection of the Gaian realm, and as you watch, you can see the creature burst into the bathroom and look left and right as if searching for you.
What in the name of... What is going on? And then Xavier will try to open the door next to him, I believe.
It opens without much effort at all, and you're now in the umbral reflection of your home, which seems to hold a certain sense of the pain and terror within it. You can hear the howls of shadows that loom just off in the distance. You get the feeling that your house is no longer safe to be in, and you do have an opportunity, it would seem, to make a break for it, make a break outside.
Xavier is just going to run for it. He's going to run down the stairs, run to the main door, open it up, and just get away from the house as quick as he can.
For the first time, your natural grace and speed as a silent strider makes itself manifest, even if only slightly, given your attributes. But still, you do feel a certain kinship with running today. And as you make your way through, you notice that the cityscape that you knew, the buildings, they're all covered in webs, many, many webs. You notice that there are, along anything that might have been electronic, you see little blue apparitions, little sprites, little spirit-like beings that dance around the traffic lights and the power lines and things of that nature. You notice that there are large spiders that seem to be tending to this web that seems to cover everything, all the buildings. But as you may become hesitant, as you may stop and take it all in, there is no time, for coming out of the umbral house, you see the creature, its eyes glowing now as it darts through the door and looks at you and lets out a massive screech-like roar.
Xavier is massively confused, also very, very scared, and after being froze on where he's standing with the screech from the creature, he's going to turn around and run as fast as he can through the city.
And as you do that, as fast as you are moving, you notice that this creature is, well, several paces behind you, keeping a fairly good speed up itself, lumbering down the street on its two extended large forearms that are really more a collection of tendrils, and its back legs hoofing it forward as it runs after you like some massive ape from some horror movie. And it just seems to pursue you with a zeal you just can't fathom at the moment, like some sort of predator that has had the scent of its prey, and it continues to chase you down, well into the city of Manhattan. If you wish, you could make a Dex Athletic roll to try and dive into one of the alleyways after you've been running for quite a bit.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh, nice. Alright, as this creature is chasing you down, it starts to gain on you. You can now feel its hot breath on the back of your neck. And just as it lifts its large tendrilled arm up to try and grasp you, you make a quick and deft dive to your left, sending you into this alleyway, well over the head of one of the large spiders, who seems to only pay you a passing notice as you land on the other side of it. You're sort of left face to face with it for a moment as it looks at you inquisitively before turning towards what is a much larger threat, as it suddenly about faces quickly, and this creature it's now face down with attacks it to try and get to you, and it immediately begins to spin webbing over it, which it has to cut through with its claws as they begin to glow with a baleful, sickly green. And as it cuts at it, you're given a moment to just completely mad dash and run. Your instincts tell you this is your moment if you wish to escape.
Then Xavier is just going to get up and again run away as fast as he can.
You come to a subway, or well, the umbral reflection of a subway, and as you dart down into it, you stand there, perhaps waiting for a train or hoping that a train will come in this odd place. And then it's a few moments later that the creature stalks down onto the platform with you, leaving you really nowhere left to go. And that's when, inside your being, you feel this anger. The fear on you, perhaps still there, suddenly realizes if you're going to survive, you're going to have to fight. And as that begins to happen, the gnosis that brought you to this realm, already having awakened, now gives way to something far, far more sinister. You suddenly feel your anger at everything you've witnessed, the helplessness, the sense of self-loathing that you've left your family behind suddenly well up deep inside your body, and finally it causes you to just snap. And you begin to look down at your hands as you feel your body aching and burning, the muscles inside tensing and expanding. You feel your bones pop as they extend into new and dizzying sizes. You feel your body becoming taller, You watch as your skin turns just almost a complete raven black, and you can see a small bit of fur, just a very fine, almost felt like fur, covering your arms as your fingers extend into these long black claws. You can feel your teeth becoming sharper and your muzzle extending out into something that is more canine than human. And then suddenly, everything in you goes red, and you see the world around you turn to this deep shade of red. You hear the pounding of your heart inside your ears, and your blood boils, and you can feel it burning inside you, and this pain, this god awful pain, drives you forward, and everything in your mind tells you, kill this creature.
Then Xavier is just going to put his right leg a little backwards as like he's taking a stance, and then just going to lunge at that creature.
Alright. Make me your first attack roll as a Garou, sir.
And I'm sorry, what do I need to roll for that?
Dex plus Brawl if you're going for a claw attack. If you're going for a bite attack, it's the same thing, but at a -1 difficulty.
I'm first. I'm going to go for a claw attack, so it's the dexterity brawl, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Difficulty 6. Oh, okay. You kind of whiff that a little bit. That first attack didn't go so well. But I will let you spend some rage if you wish. You can spend up to 2.
I will spend one rage.
All right. You may make a second attack.
Okay, so I'm in my Krynos form, right?
Yes.
And do I get that plus
1?
physical?
Yes. You do get all of your physical bonuses attributed to your form, yes.
Okay, so I think I just missed rolled on that one.
Alright, go ahead and
Sorry.
re-roll it for me then.
Okay, then I get +2 dexterity, right?
+1.
+1 dexterity.
Yeah.
Okay. So +1, +4 strength, +1 dexterity, and +2 stamina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me double check that. I think it's a little bit more than that, but just let me check. Where is my form? A shapeshifting. I don't know why I can never find this stuff. Shape changing. There we are. Boo, 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 boo. In Krynos, you gain +4 strength, +1 stamina, or +1 dexterity, and +3 stamina.
Okay. So I'm making that roll again.
Alright.
Oh. Oh. Oh boy.
Well, the dice gods are not with you this morning, but that's okay. That's not a botch. That's just a failure. So now you're into your rage action, so you may roll one last time. Pro tip,
Okay.
spend a willpower point.
Okay, then I'm spending a willpower point on it.
Okay.
I'm going to attack the same way again.
There we go. 5 successes. So your claw attack is going to do strength +2 plus an additional 3, so it'll be strength +5.
Okay. So
So that's 6 plus 5, which is 12 dice, or 11
11.
dice.
Yeah.
But you don't do so well on the damage rolls. It's okay. We came prepared for this. The creature is going to lash out at you, and you're going to take 4 levels of aggravated damage just straight out as it smacks you with its tendrils that are covered in these biting thorns. So go ahead and roll your stamina to soak.
Okay. Plus 3.
You did manage to soak it though, so it hits you, and you know that for some reason, even clouded in your head, you know that that should have torn you apart like it did your cousins, but instead it just knocks you end over end with a firm thrust, and you manage to sort of land on one knee and your feet, still poised to attack, and it is your turn again.
Okay, so this time I'm going to try to bite.
All right, go for it.
Again, 5 dice. And again.
No, you got 1 success. Difficulty 5 to bite.
Okay, so I'm rolling 11 again for the damage.
No, it would be just your straight strength plus 1.
Okay, so plus 1. There we go.
Roll its soak. Let's see. You did. I see. You did 1, so it does manage to soak that 1 somehow, just barely. So your bite, your teeth come down into it. You notice your fangs bite into its hide, but as you bite down into it, it's a bit like biting into a fork. It's very, very tough skin.
Can I stay, can I keep my fangs on him?
If you wish to go for a grapple, it would be a separate action. But considering we're just kind of storytelling this, so yeah.
Okay, so
You can just roll me a strength and brawl to see if you can hold on to him.
okay.
Alright, I will roll its strength and brawl to see if it can't beat you on that. Let's see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. It only has 3, so actually, yes, you have a hold of it, and it squirms and tries to rip away from you, but you do have it controlled. Are you going to try and just hold it in place? Or are you going to try and damage it?
I'm just trying to hold him in place, and when it's my next turn, I will attack again while I'm holding on to him.
Alright, well, you've got him clenched at this point, so he really can't do anything. So it's your turn again.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just again try to rip his chest or his stomach.
You kind of got him by the shoulder, so you could probably rip part of his shoulder off. If not his arm, depending on how well you roll on your damage rolls. So go ahead and roll me Dex plus Brawl, difficulty 5.
Okay.
Deuces, that is a great roll. So that is going to be strength plus 1, plus, so it's strength plus 5 again.
Okay. There's the roll.
I see quite a few successes there. Now that's how you do it, son. Right there. Rolls. Okay, it only does. You managed to actually do 2 points of damage to it, as it only soaks four. So you rip a massive chunk of its shoulder out, and it writhes in pain, and an agonizing roar comes out of it as you see its green chlorophyll like blood just spurt everywhere, and it smells horrible. It tastes even worse. It makes you retch and spit the bit of flesh between your jaws out, and you push it away, now wounded, as it turns back towards you and lashes out at you. And whiffs wide, so its tendrils come out and smash into a wall nearby. And it is going to be your turn again.
Okay, so after he smashes his tendrils on the wall, I will try to grab him by those tendrils and like throw him away across the platform.
Hmm. Okay. You have common sense, sir, so I am going to give you a little tidbit of information. You are standing on a subway platform, and when you look down at the subway tracks themselves in the umbra, they are glowing with dancing spirits that look like little bolts of lightning.
Okay.
And because
Allow me.
its tendrils are kind of stuck there in the wall for a moment, I will let you do this at a difficulty of 5 to try and throw him.
Okay, so let me change it a little bit. I'm going to throw him into the rails.
Okay.
At least I will try to.
Okay. Roll your Dex and Brawl.
Okay, here we go.
Nice. So then it will be your strength plus 3 to throw him. So 9 dice.
Here we go. Man, I am lucky
Holy
today.
shit! Okay, so this is what happens. You grab a hold of his tendrils and you pull him towards you with one yank. The creature's eyes go wide for a moment in just abject disbelief as it cannot believe that suddenly you're able to just muster this strength when you barely did any damage to it for the first couple of tries. And when you yank it towards you, you let it go, and its sheer momentum brings it right to you, and you dig your claws into its side and lift it up over your head, and you just roar as you throw it towards the tracks, and it falls down into the pit and lands amongst the electrical spirits, and they are obviously not happy with its sudden presence as they suddenly jump onto it, and you watch as these arcs of lightning begin to bite into this creature. You hear it let out a shrieking howl as the little electrical spirits just tear into this thing, and they become larger and more excited, becoming they look more like, instead of little snakes of light, they begin to take on these almost elemental skeleton type features as they just lash into it and surge through this thing. You watch as this Fomori's, this plant creature's body just begins to tremble and shake violently like it's in some dire seizure. You watch as bits of flame begin to erupt out of the hollows inside its fibrous body. Its mouth begins to glow as you see bits of embers coming outwards and smoke coming out of its eyes and its mouth. And it just continues to shriek until it literally makes no more sound, and all you hear is the sickening crackling of the elementals as they just rip into this creature until finally it's left as just this burnt, sizzling husk. And as you stand there, suddenly the object of your anger begins to fade away, and slowly you feel your body return into that normal state, that state of Hamid, and your muscles, they ache and burn like you've just worked out harder than you ever have in your entire life. And you're left to sort of try and make sense of it all for a few moments.
What? How did... What?
Xavier, as you behold everything, you notice that your clothing is pretty much torn and useless now. It's more than just tatters around your arms and your lower part of your legs. Just at your waist, it really seems to be held together. The nice slacks that you were wearing before, your trousers, pretty much everything from mid-thigh down is just ripped and shredded. Your shirt is more than just now spent rags, the nice shirt that you were wearing.
Xavier is going to take off that ruined shirt off his back and kind of like tie it down to his waist, whatever that's left of it.
And as you're doing so, you hear footsteps. And you see a shadow coming down from the subway entrance. And
What?
though you might expect something horrible coming towards you, you're left with the image of a rather attractive young woman, clad in fairly casual attire. And she seems to stare at you with a look of wonder and curiosity.
Oh my God, another human being. And Xavier makes his way to her slowly.
So is that all that ruckus from you, young man?
What is going on? What is this place?
What is this place? Have you never been here before?
No.
She crosses her arms and rubs the bottom of her chin inquisitively. Tell me how you got here.
Um, Out of character, can Xavier remember and what happened?
You can remember pretty much everything except for what happened to the Fomori when you were in Krenos. Kind of blacked out there for a moment.
There was this thing that attacked me and my family. I was in a bathroom hiding, and somehow I found myself in here. I ran to this station, and I can't remember what happened after.
Oh dear. I believe I know what happened to you. First off, this place that you're in, it's called the Umbra. It's the spirit world reflection of the Gaian realm, or the Earth realm, the normal world, whatever you wish to call it.
What?
You've had a very big becoming, young man. My guess is that you did that, and she points in the direction of the now roasting Fomori.
Xavier just shivers at that display, and that was the thing. How?
I think the modern term would be something akin to You're a wizard, Harry, but not so much. Come with me. I think I know some people who can help you.
Xavier just barely could make sense of what's going on. He will follow this woman that is the only human in his eyes that he found in this place.
So, do you have a name?
Xavier,
Xavier. I'm Joy. It's nice to meet you.
I wish this happened in some other way, but yeah, same here.
Well, you have a lot of questions, and I'll do my best to try and explain things to you. Um, First off, we'll get the big question out of the way. You, young man, are likely a werewolf.
What? A what?
You heard me correctly, a werewolf. Though the term we tend to use is Garu.
Xavier is just he's just confused. He he's just trying to make sense of all this. He's looking all around. He is Garou. You mean like the French word Garou?
Yes, actually. You see, you are born into a bloodline that has a history of shape changing in it. And, well, it seems that it's finally manifested itself in you.
My family?
I don't know if the rest of your family is Daru as well. They may very well be, or they could be what we refer to as kinfolk. Um, Individuals that carry the aspect of the blood that can make us into werewolves, but never actually manage to change.
Oh God. Um, excuse me, please. I'm so sorry. The doorbell is ringing. I'll be right back.
Okay. And we wait.
At the same time, there's somebody who is listening pop music at the Sept of Green. He's dancing while he is doing rounds, and everybody looking at him like he is a weirdo, which he is. But he doesn't care. He's waiting.
As he waits in the sept, the day seems to be a rather plain and mundane one, though the winds of omen dance around as if though maybe there's something he should be expecting. As though the winds dance around in the umbra and simply say to him in some form, though abstract and not necessarily um, honed in or clear. It's just more of a sense of anticipation that goes into the air as though something new is coming, something different is happening.
The man stops dancing. He starts to take his round more seriously at the moment.
And for some reason, you're compelled to go to the Umbra. You're not sure why.
Travis jumps into the Umbra, looks around.
For now, you see nothing, but something tells you to sit and wait.
He sits and waits.
And we come back to Xavier and Joy as they're walking towards the center of the city. Are you back, John?
Yes, sorry.
Essentially, there are bloodlines of individuals that can shape change. I'm just like you in some respects, though probably of a different bloodline altogether. But you have the ability to change into a massive beast, which is exactly why I think most of your clothes are torn. You probably fell into what we refer to as a frenzy. Anger, fear, lust. Any extreme emotion can cause you to shift into a 9-foot-tall, furry killing machine.
I don't understand. But my family, I never saw them do this.
Like I said, they may not be Garou, they may only be kinfolk.
For the sake of the argument, let's say it is. And how do we get out of this place?
Well, if you had a reflective surface, you could try and channel your spiritual energy through it to bring you back to the living world. However, doing so might be a bit of a bad idea. If you were to suddenly just walk through a reflective surface and appear in the middle of the world, in the middle of the human world, or the Gaian realm as we call it, you'd probably cause a fuss, and there's certain rules against that the Garou Nation, there's a whole bunch of us, by the way, or, well, you, I should say. There's a whole list of rules. One of them is to keep what is secret, or the veil, as we call it.
Wait. You mean that us, I mean, we have a society?
Yes, actually, there's a huge society, entire nation, thousands upon thousands of Garou, and many more who sit on the fringes of it, not necessarily a part of it. There's even an entire faction of crazy Garou that work with those things that chased you down.
And speaking of them, what the hell was that?
That, my friend, is called a Fomori. There are spirits in this realm we call the Umbra, and other realms deeper into the spirit worlds, that are manifestations of corruption and everything that is bad. Anger, wrath, lust, things of that nature, reflections of terrible, terrible things. These spirits can possess people, and, well, they can possess other things too, but generally they possess people.
So,
The
you are saying that I basically just barbecued a spirit?
Well, a human possessed by a, for all intents and purposes, evil spirit, as you might see it.
So I killed the person along with it.
To be fair, Xavier, once they've become possessed like that and they've manifested into a creature such as that, trust me, you did it a favor.
Then why am I feeling the opposite?
Because up until now, you've had a very human mentality about everything. You didn't feel guilt and remorse for killing somebody, even if they probably needed it, even if it is a mercy, in all honesty, to them. I would say that you would be better suited to be one of those crazy black spiral dancers. The evil werewolves I told you about.
So we are not the evil ones.
It depends on who you ask. There are other shape-shifting breeds out there of various different types of animals that would not agree. Plus things like mages and vampires would probably call the werewolves just as evil as you would probably call them.
Wait, what?
Okay, just a question here. You're currently in a world with giant spiders creating webs over buildings and tending to them. You just saw a plant monster kill people. And you seem to have accepted the fact that werewolves exist. Vampires are so out of bounds now?
Yeah, I accepted it, but I didn't say it made any sense.
Well, if anything about this made sense to you, you'd be well ahead of the curve. But yes, there are other creatures out there, and the Garu themselves have a bit of a reputation for acting before they think. I myself am not part of the Garu nation. I am what you call a Ronin, someone that doesn't exist within the nation and therefore is shunned and exiled from it.
Why? I mean, if this
No,
power manifests itself like just what happened, wouldn't it be better to be close to someone who understands it?
well, I'm not alone. I have other Ronin that live with me. And honestly, I've been a guru since I was 12. I'm 26 now.
So, judging by that name, I'm guessing they don't like you very much?
Uh, at best, they look at us with a bit of mild or severe neglect. They'd rather not deal with us, though Ronin are known to take up messy jobs for the nation in exchange for leeway and, uh, well, to not be killed on sight. There are some out there that would just simply murder us for not being part of the nation and call us traitors, which is only fair. We did kind of abandon the nation in the middle of its war times, but I didn't agree with laws that prevented me from marrying somebody I cared about quite a bit. And that's one of many reasons I'm not part of the or part of the nation itself.
Okay.
But that's just me. It wasn't the right fit for me, but I'm telling you that it's probably the best option you have right now.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Trust me, I've met a couple of people from the local chapter of their nation. We call it a sept. Uh, it's called the Sept of the Green, and as you round the corner, you're now beholden to Central Park. Joy stops about 3 blocks away from it to not even come anywhere close to it. In there is a good group of people. They'll take care of you. They'll train you. They'll help you control what lurks inside you now.
Well, if they are as trustworthy as you say, they are my best shot at this.
For you, they'll be trustworthy. For me, not so much, but I made my bed and I have to sleep in it, so to speak. And with that, you notice her take a few steps forward, and you watch as her body contorts and becomes smaller. She shrinks down into the form of a pristine white-furred wolf that looks very regal. And she arches her back as she lifts her snout up into the air and lets out a howl. Just sort of a call. And a certain Fiona, who happens to be in the Umbra, is probably the one to pick it up.
So you see a man, like Xavier sees a man who is sitting in. It looks like he is meditating. His body is changing up and forth. We thought he doesn't move, but his muscles are getting stretched and loose.
Sir?
He's going to open his eyes. You see, he looked at you and he smells.
Joy will shift back up and standing a respectful distance away from the sept itself. She looks at Travis with a nod.
Travis will nod. He will understand.
This one I found walking about the city by himself. He just went through his first change. He needs help.
I will help him. Don't worry.
And Joy
Thank
will
you.
place a hand on Xavier's shoulder. You're in good hands now. I trust these people. Enough, anyway. She says, and she just kind of winks at Travis at that. At least
Travis
this time.
again. Travis nods. And come over here, kiddo. He says it to Xavier.
Xavier makes his way to this man, not really knowing what to expect.
So, what's your name?
Xavier?
Charles Xavier?
No. Xavier
Great.
was here.
You're from. Like you don't look like American.
I'm not sure. I
Don't call
am
me
an
sir. I'm Travis.
American. I am an American in paper, but I'm actually an Egyptian.
Okay. So, tell me, like, let's just walk towards the steps. Come with me. Are you able to walk?
I guess, yes.
Yeah. Come with me, and he will look around. Is there anybody around at the moment, Vinny?
For the purposes of this scene, no.
Okay. He will get him towards the, in a place that he can sleep. But for that, I think we need to go back to the real world first. But I need to talk with the guys first. Okay. He will just look at you. So tell me what happened.
My family, my house, we were attacked by something. It was like a plant creature of some sort. It had these tendrils, and I ran away from it and found myself here, and he cornered me in a subway station, but I can't really remember anything after that.
Is it in this world or the other world? Is it
Here.
happening in this? Okay, good.
It happened here.
So, okay, kid. God, I got some bad news for you. Congratulations, you're a werewolf. This is the easiest way to tell all this shit. This same thing happened to me like 7 months ago. I have been playing American football and shit, somebody attacked me. This is not and can I smell the puberty on him?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, make me a
So,
perception primal urge to see how much of it you sense. I mean, you can definitely tell this guy's got pure breed out the wazoo, but let's see if you can pin it down.
2.
He looks a bit like Aaron.
Travis looks at the Xavier and says, "Well, you remind me somebody. Maybe he will like you. Whatever." So okay, kiddo. Again, this is the news. You're a werewolf.
That woman told me same thing.
Okay, this is kind of strange news. Like not everybody get that time to time, but yeah, like you are a warrior of Gaia, the mother.
Earth
She
Mother?
is, yeah, she's your Earth Mother. Yes.
Yeah, so
She
it's the same Gaia as in the Greek mythology Gaia.
maybe. I'm a Greek and I don't know the answer. Okay, and so, well, let's just say like this. Do you need to teach you how to be a normal, how to get past the situation? I'm going to make you meet with some new people. Like we are, he, like he puts his hand towards your shoulder and shows you the hold the sept and says, "Welcome to your new life." It sounds like a little bit weird though. I totally understand that, but you will get used to it.
Okay, but I need to go back home. My family were
Why?
attacked. That thing killed 2 of my cousins.
Your family has that. Does your mom survive the attack? Or dad?
What?
Does your mom and dad survive the attack? Did you see them?
That's the thing. I did not see them. I don't know if they're okay or not. I need to go back and see them.
Okay, wait. Just calm down first. We will. Like, you need to. You can't go anywhere at the moment. You're too dangerous to go out. I will. Like, I need to tell some stuff to you first, and then I will talk with my higher ups, and I guarantee we will go back and search for your family, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. Like, don't worry, kid. Just we're going to handle the situation. And so can you jump back to the real world? Can you do that, or you want? Yeah, you need my help. Never mind. Travis will try to find a. Let's just say, do we have phones in the Umbra, by the way, Vinny?
If you dedicated one to you, unless you're a glasswalker, you might take a hit in renown, so probably not.
No, I did it. I will reflective circuit surface.
No, they're everywhere. I mean, there's water.
Yeah. Okay. Like, okay, kid. Just so you're here. You have done this before, and I believe you can do this again.
Do
We are
what?
going to the normal. No, we are going to the normal world.
Okay.
This is the guy in realm. We're going to the normal world. Just look at the surface and give your body move your body towards the other world. Okay? We will step sideways.
Don't forget, Travis, you can put a hand on him and help guide him through. Put a hand on him and you roll your gnosis, and here it's a difficulty of 3.
So, okay. Travis will put his hand to hit the guy and look at this roll. I barely succeed. 2 successes.
Alright. So essentially what happens is, Xavier, when Travis puts his hand on you, you feel the same sensation you had before, only this time it's guided, it's not like falling. It's almost like stepping through, almost like a waterfall, like a sheen waterfall, or like a gossamer veil of like fog. I mean, you actually feel the transition as you step through, but when you come through, you're inside the Bawn of the Sept. You see people that look like homeless folks standing all around and talking to one another. You see other individuals that bear a multitude of different appearances. You're kind of hidden inside a glade of woods and thick trees, though the outside world of the park proper can still be seen. For some reason, people tend to avert their eyes and not really pay much attention to the area, but you can smell the scent of food being cooked and the sound of mirth and good cheer as you look at some people. Some people are covered in scars, some people aren't. You see children playing. You hear somebody playing a guitar with a sweet melody off in the distance.
He
I'm sorry, you cut out really
He did
bad.
the-
You said something.
asks Xavier, "Are you hungry, kiddo?"
Yes.
You're hungry. Okay. Travis will go towards the inner side of side of the steps, the places that where we put people to sleep. He will take Xavier with him, and he will say, "Okay, I think I'm going to get you some food. Just wait here. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to bring some people as well. Like from the packling, I'm texting the Aaron at the moment. Dude, we have a problem. Somebody survived. He's he's a cub. Blah blah blah. And I need to look with some higher ups to get you on your food. Okay, kiddo?
Okay.
Just everything is going to be fine. Don't worry. If you have any problems, just let me know. I will try to help you. Blah blah blah. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So
I think here, with Xavier sitting down near a group of bone...
if you want, we can end this.
Yeah. With Xavier safe inside the Sept and some of the Bonar kinfolk who know that look of a first changed cub, they come over and offer him a, well, for Bonars anyway, a clean t-shirt to put on. And they offer him a bowl of stew that actually smells fairly decent. And they just invite him to sit down and wait for individuals to come and help him with his current situation. And I do think there we can call this a scene.